Today I fucked up by visiting a dentist while being homeless in Seattle. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect this much support. I want to give a shout out to Edmonds Community Health Clinic for getting me in for many visits back then and actually filling my teeth even on Medicaid instead of just extracting. I got on their cancellation list and they called me every day. People cancel all the time. They saved my smile. Too long did not read. Don't sign the waiver the dentist gives you mid-procedure. So this actually happened back in 2013. But it still affects me to this day, and I want to share my experience as a warning. In 2013, I was several years into a heroin addiction that tried its best to kill me. The status of my teeth was abysmal. But I was trying to turn things around and got myself on Medicaid. I eventually found a dentist office in Linwood that would take my insurance. Alder Lynn Family Dentistry. The only thing they will do for you when your insurance is Medicaid is extractions. I came in to get a molar pulled, and what ended up happening left me shook. The first thing they explained was that having nitrous during the procedure would cost $30. I didn't have that, I was destitute, so I was unable to get it during the procedure. What happened next, I still feel should be considered medical malpractice. The doctor was trying to extract the tooth, but he couldn't get it to come out. The pain was unbearable. I'm a 6 feet 3 inches tall male, and I was crying, howling in pain. The dentist says, "Stop crying. It's no big deal, yeah?" So I do my best to contain my emotions, despite the pain. Then, as he was basically standing on the chair, trying to force the tooth out, I hear a crack. He had broken the tooth next to it. He basically jumps down, runs out of the OFIDE and returns with a waiver form. He says, "You have to sign this." Through my tears, I sign the waiver. I just want this to be over with. He ends up pulling both teeth, and kicks me out as fast as possible. My friend was waiting in the parking lot, so I ran up to her and hugged her while sobbing. This is just one of many stories I have about how I eventually overcame being a homeless drug addict in Seattle. But it's one that really has stuck with me over the years. There is still a massive gap in my teeth from the missing molar. The people at the Edmonds Community Health Clinic were completely different. They really helped me a lot and actually listened to my concerns. My biggest advice to anyone in any sort of similar circumstances is to stay the fuck away from Linwood. Aside from this, the judge and warden feed off the suffering of others. See, for example. My teeth are still fucked up. Heroin sucks. Glad you're doing better now. I got out before fentanyl got huge, it seems worse now. Your biggest advice should be to stay away from heroin. American healthcare moment. Thanks for sharing, glad you're doing better too. Let's stick to flossing instead of fentanyl. Leave a review on Google, fuck them. Today I fucked up by telling my boyfriend where to ship a package. My 22th birthday is in about a week and my boyfriend, 23M, has been in the process of buying me some birthday gifts. My boyfriend, when discussing what to get me for my birthday, said he wanted to get me a nice vibrator in addition to a few other things. When he was going to order, he asked if he thought it was okay for him to ship it to our new apartment. We recently moved in together to the basement of a house in the suburbs with lots of children in the neighborhood. Our landlords live above us. Due to the apartment setup, our packages are usually either dropped in our mailbox or left on our landlord's porch. We did some fairly extensive research on how discreet the packaging was, and ended up giving the go-ahead for him to mail them the birthday gifts to our apartment rather than his parents' home. Fast forward to yesterday, while on a date I see my boyfriend's draw drop. Lo and behold, a text from the landlord. "Hey, our son, 4, saw your package and thought it was ours and opened it. We left it on your porch." Our landlords are quite religious and young enough to be absolutely sure what the vibrator was. We spent the entire hour drive home worrying about how far the son opened the package, and whether he had played with it or not. When we got home, we immediately discovered the package ripped open just enough to get a long, skinny box out. Our worst fears were confirmed when we saw dirty handprints all over the box. I opened it slowly, and my boyfriend snatched it out of my hands and told me to go to the other room. Well, turns out it wasn't the vibrator. We wish it was. It was an Apple Watch, now covered in dirt and scratches. Turning the dial felt like grinding pepper. Luckily our landlords agreed to replace it, but needless to say, all packages will be delivered elsewhere now. Too long did not read. Told boyfriend he could ship birthday gifts to our new apartment, little kid opened package. Thought it was a vibrator he opened, but it turns out it was an Apple Watch that he damaged. I'm just wondering one thing. Why is their 4-year-old kid getting the mail and opening it? Tears of joy. Amazon Hub Lockers FTW. P.O. Boxes be a good friend. How is this a fuck up? You mailed a package to where you live. The landlord is the fuck up for not being responsible for their tenant's property. Them being religious isn't your issue or business. If they're offended by something, that's on them. None of this is a TIFU. Young enough to be absolutely sure what the vibrator was. Do you think vibrators are something you grow out of and forget about?